everybody, and welcome back to our little farming adventure. Now, I established in the last video that we are going to be working on this area today. Mainly, we're going to be putting together some fields, which are going to be covering this area and that area. There's going to be a little pathway in between these two buildings, and they're going to separate the two farms. And of course, I still need to get that building in, but that building is the next episode. Today, we are putting in the windmill. We're taking that down. And essentially, we're just focusing in this area right now. Now, I did collect everything that was left over in that box that could go to this building. I have an idea for the building. Is it going to work? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I do need to quickly grab my red wool that was in here, because I did not grab that. Now, the windmill is actually going to move. I'm using Create for this. I did go into a creative world and figure out how they work and stuff like that. I do have super glue in case I want to spruce it up and make it just not blades. But we'll focus on that in just a second. I want this to go up into like a little bit of a door area. So here, 1, 2, 3, here, 1, 2, 3, here. Because I do want this to have like a little bit of a building on it and then a smaller farm up here right next to it as well. 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3 here. Want there to at least be some portion of building here for the person who works the windmill. And that's just going to be the basic floor plan for this. Now, I am going to cover this, the entire rest of this area and some more fields. Since hops are kind of like grapes, they're going to need a striped field. Barley's more like wheat. We also have, actually I can do this area in wheat and then do the hops and, or not the hops, the barley and the corn in these areas. And then maybe use some space that's in between this area and our area over here to maybe do another farm for the hops. Or maybe that could be this area right here. Because I do need some more farms to help fill in some more space. So that could probably do all that. Okay, but that is the floor plan for this building. To attempt to get it in, I don't know if I want to move it back any. I don't know. Would it look... Actually, I think it would look good here, because from down here, you're looking straight up at a hill. From up here, it's not going to look horrible, because it's going to be covered in wheat, and the building is going to be covering any extra space in the back. I think the only spot where we'd have some issues with it being so far forward is over here, which isn't going to be a very active spot, I'll be honest. And then that's just going to be a wheat field. I can probably throw in some trees to help blend it a bit better. Okay. I'm going to start by getting in the actual building portion of this. Okay, and it seems like it's about to possibly rain. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Right now, here is the bottom floor building. I do already have it set up to go above this. I think I actually need to bring it up one more before I start to shrink it in any. But we're going to have the windmill go up 1, maybe 2 more blocks. Then go in, like shrink the circle by 1 block. And then take it up a bit more. And then that's where I'm going to put the windmill. Purely for the fact of I don't want it to be just a massive thing. It is purely used to generate like grind up dried goods or wheat or things of that nature to make flour. That's what this kind of area is for. I just felt like it kind of fit when it's going to be in a field with a bunch of corn, barley, wheat's going to be around it. It just makes sense that it's down here. I actually thought about putting one like over here or over in here somewhere, but down here is fine. I need something to fill up this bottom corner anyway, especially since most of my buildings are going to be around this side of it. So now, also not very large interiorly. I did change it up how it looks in here. This is going to be the drop down of where all the pieces are going to go. The shafts, they're going to eventually come down here and then go into something. It's not actually going to be something. I may put a crusher in here. I don't know. Just to help it make a bit of sense and for it to look cool. But this thing isn't actually going to be generating like any serious power. It is purely there to look pretty. The only problem with freehanding a building, you're constantly having to run back to your storage room to get more stuff. This is kind of what I'm settling on so far. I do have a dirt pillar right there. But I want to see if I can get a variety in these stone bricks right here, just so I can fill in a bit more of this wall. I also want to get spruce slabs for right here to help blend, but also give like a sharp contrast to all of this, because right now it just looks like one pillar of wood going all the way up whenever you're zoomed out like this. Just, I want a little bit. Also, I dropped the entire design down by one. Originally, it was up to where these stairs are, and the stairs were on top of it. I dropped it down by one because I kind of want the windmill to come out of this spot right here. So I needed a bit more room. It's already going to come out a few blocks. I just wanted it further away from this bottom portion. And not to mention the top portion is going to have to come up a bit more. So I needed a bit more space to work with. And it still is slightly above the roof line. So it doesn't look horrible. Whew, that took forever. I think this took over an hour to do. Just the windmill blades. The building itself took like 20 minutes. This took like over an hour. I still want to get a fence post up there so that I can really bring it to like just a peak. But I don't have one on me right now, but I am running to my storage area here in a second. So I'll probably grab one, then pillar back up there and put one up there. But you can kind of see I did elongate everything to try and make it as tall as I possibly could with it being such a small space. Now, I need to grab some leaves, grab some water buckets, and I need to see if I can get some farms in place. There we go, the start to our little path. Now this path is going to go off that way here in a little bit, but we're going to start over here. I'm going to start by getting just some crops planted in. Probably going to start on the front end of the building and then work my way back. I do have a whole bunch of leaves on me, which are going to allow me to just basically freehand and fill in some of these strange corners that we're going to have. And there we go. This field is completely mapped out. Now I am going to be coming back through and putting trees and such in. So I'm not doing any heavy detail right now. I'm trying to plot out where exactly I want the fields. This is going to have flowers across this edge. This is going to be a mix of fences, leaves, and fence gates to get back in here. This is going to have a whole mess of leaves across it, along with some trees along the back. There's going to be a tree over in this general vicinity, along with some benches and stuff for maybe some outdoor seating, because there's not a whole lot of room inside, maybe a bit more room outside. And now I need to figure out where exactly I want this path. I kind of want it to come up this way somewhere. And here are those paths connected. Now I want the entryways to these fields to actually be on this flat piece. So, sorry, I'm in the south. There's a gnat currently attacking my face. Okay. But I wanted their entryways to be over here. So entryway into this field, entryway into that field. So there's going to be fencing and stuff along some of these areas, or specifically along this path. There's also going to be trees kind of dotted throughout these fields because they're going to be pretty massive and I need lights on them. So trees are probably the best filler point for those. Need to go fill up my buckets again. Also have a few wheat seeds I can throw up in here. Slowly but surely I am filling in these farms as I'm going. This one just got a major expansion. It's finally curving around the building. The wheat farm, I'm actually tackling from 2 different angles. Every wheat seed I get from destroying like grass and stuff up here, I'm throwing it over here. So slowly but surely we are making our way around with this one. This one I've been waiting on stuff to grow. I don't even know what the full-grown state of these are. I feel like I'm breaking them before they're fully finished. Okay, so they're 3 tall whenever these are finished. Can I turn you into more? No, I cannot. So I need your crop in order to finish growing you. Got it. But this is as far as I've gotten with this one. I do want to get it as close to the water as I can because I want to fill up this entire area with farms. So this entire sector and this entire sector are going to be both farms. I do want to do like another building or something down on this end. I don't know what yet. I don't even know if I'm going to do it. I may just end up not. But I do know I want this entire sector to be a farm. Okay, about halfway done with this field. You can see how much more I still have left to do. But the field itself is massive. I've already planted in some of the barley I had, and I've been... Oops, I did not mean to do that. I've been slowly working on collecting more of the corn seeds, just so I can plant more. You can see it is a very slow process. Okay, I'm slightly changing up the idea here. I'm going to curve off around these trees. I've kind of put them in as a guideline. I'm going to probably put in quite a few more bushes and things like that. But I think I'm going to turn this back corner into a bit of a forest. Maybe throw some of my apple trees back there, the bigger ones. And just try to like close off this back corner. That way, first of all, I don't have to take this down. It can just kind of be there. And it keeps me from having to do another massive field, because this one's already pretty big. And this one's lining up, even with the cut off, to be the same size as this one. So I think I'm just going to cut it off back here and then turn this back here into a little bit of a forest slash orchard. Just so I don't have to deal with as much. Okay, there we go. The finished shape of this field. Like I said, it's about the same size as this one. This one's a little bit more cramped. And this one's a little bit more free-flowing, but they're about the same size. And I'm just going to come back here and probably put in like a house for one of the farmers or something like that. Just back in here, and then fill in the rest of this with trees. Because the house is probably going to sit right here and block the view of that. So when you're down here, you don't see that thing. You're probably still going to see it from other angles, but I'm just going to block it off as much as I can, because I don't think I have enough time between this video and the next video to get that entirely down and prep for everything as well. And the rest of this is just going to turn into forest to kind of help cover the viewpoint from that to that. Alrighty, and there we go. Just a bit more bone meal up here. And that gives us our walk down into the farms. Now, I haven't been able to get them filled in because I am on a little bit of a time constraint. But I will be working on this in between episodes and before, of course, the end of the series. These fields will be filled in. It's just going to take me a bit of time to finish filling them in. I did finish filling in the wheat one back here, though. Now, in between episodes, I am going to be coming in with a bunch of fences and such to help finish filling this area in. I'm just going to quickly throw in a few flowers and a few of these just to kind of help fill this area in a bit more. And of course there's going to be flowers in this area and fences along this to help kind of fill the area in a bit more. And then this is going to be the entrance into the field. And then I'm probably going to take all of this out and put in coarse dirt. Probably in the next episode, whenever we get started. But in between episodes, I want to focus on getting these fields filled in, for one. And secondly, finish off this back portion. Like I said, there's going to be a small house here for a farmer, probably with a silo-esque thing attached to it. So I'm probably going to redo this type of farmer house down over here and put some actual farmer villagers in it, just so we can have more life in the village at the end. But I'm going to work on that in between episode. I'm actually recording this episode right after the last one. So literally the next day, the day the upload for the previous video was going to go live, I recorded this one. So I have an entire week to work on getting the next bit of this done. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye!